To the bottom right-hand corner with the purple Zerg player from Team Liquid. This is Elazer.
His opponent from Good Game Gaming, the Good Game Gamer in the gold, Rattata. And you can tell I did not grow up with Pokemon because I think my pronunciation of Pokemon names is not quite there.
It's okay. Nobody will ever beat the zombie group Rattata. So we'll all sacrifice in this situation.
Fair enough. I will be the second worst caster at pronouncing Pokemon. Great. That is a dubious honor.
I know. I was saying DG's really good at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was saying there's no shame in being bad. It makes it all look.
Ah, got you. Okay.
Hey,
That's how much I know then. I thought you were saying that was not how the Pokemon was pronounced.
yeah, some people say Rattata or Rattata. I mean, I'm quite into Pokemon, and I'll just say it however my co-cast is saying it. So it's kind of okay. I think it'll survive.
It's the purple Pikachu.
Purple Pikachu. Okay, you can't say that. That's too far. That's too far off.
You're telling me I need to eradicate it from my language?
Oh my goodness, that was
All a
see,
setup.
you're like, I don't know Pokemon, but boom, 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 Pokemon joke left, right, and center. You know, like.
That's all I can ever do, though. That's like all I got.
all you
There's
got?
no more.
Well, I guess we'll just have to talk about StarCraft games and stuff then. This is pretty regular on the opening. Obviously, both players are kind of matching each other. There's a slight 8 gas lead for Elazer, but it really is like a slight second here or there. Nothing too major. Please take a look at Sapphire. This is a pretty big map, right? So, really, a lot of things can happen on Cosmic Sapphire, and you can kind of see these situations develop pretty crazily where, you are basically kind of set up to kind of fight all over. You can take a lot of base. I think mutas are going to be something we'd see here if we do end up in a longer game. It's just ZVZ has a tendency to just end games anyway. And especially if you like the third base of this map is something you can find a way into at least. The choke is quite far back, so you've got to hold really far forward to hold the choke in this thing. So the aggressor can actually get up onto the third base and pretty quickly point give straight away. You don't usually want to be kind of that far forward as a defender. So kind of like a weird one. I feel like it does have to open itself to a bit of aggression on those road timings, and there is potential to even, of course, see the game end a little bit on Ling Bane as well. So, yeah. I actually, for the size of the map, I'm still feeling like it's
And not only that, Wardy, the third base, yeah, you have the choke that's scary, but the third rush is rather short. Yeah, natural takes a while longer, but you can get across the map rather quickly. But you talk, well, actually, I was gonna say you talk about mutas, but you have so many lings on the way. Maybe we'll bring that up a little bit later. 16 lings are on the way from Elazer. He wants to put some pressure on this third base. Speed's done on both sides, mainly morphing on both sides, but Elazer showing us that he doesn't have much of a design on roaches just yet. No roach horn on the way, but he said, I want some pressure. So lings from Rattata, they're going to show up here on the third base. Banelings show up as well. We got those Banelings on the right side, on the north side. Oh, nice trade there. Banelings trade for Banelings. And it looks like that should force Rattata back. And now the Banelings we saw morphing on the north side. Do we have a flank coming in? Looks like no. They're only moving in just now, but it's going to be a little scary here for Rattata. He doesn't have any Banes, and his opponent certainly does.
Apparently, I'm lagging out a bit, but maybe I'm a little bit better now. Maybe, possibly. I'm going to let you talk a little bit longer on this attack.
All right, sounds good. So Lings, now they find the way into the third base. The Banelings mostly go down. It looks like Elazer, he's run out of Banelings for the most part. So now Lings, they're going to try to find their way on top of the Roaches, running forward. Queens actually not enough energy to transfuse. So this surround from Elazer's looking damn nice. Roaches going to try to find their way into a corner as Ravagers morph to keep themselves alive, but these Roaches are all going down, and the third base is incredibly low. So if Elazer's going to be able to punch through properly, third base will die, but looks like Ling's in the main base from Rattata as well into Elazer. He's going to have to pull drones. We got damage on both sides of the map, at least aggression on both sides of the map. The one Baneling morphing in, but unfortunately, Wardy, one Baneling does not kill drones. So maybe it's going to set up a run by later on, but despite everything that's happened, despite that good surround from Elazer, despite the damage he got done on the fourth base, not a lot really happened. Realistically, you have a third base that's low but not dead. Lasers third base rather low as
Mhm.
well. And the big deal, of course, the worker count. Lasers up 14 workers here. Now
Yeah.
the third base goes
Ugh.
down massive Bailey connections as well.
Yeah, I mean, the third base going down for Rattata, I feel like Elazer at this stage, obviously, yeah, a huge amount of drones ahead, just needs to hold on, because obviously units kind of here, there, and everywhere. Elazer is losing a few drones, but his army supply is what's important right now, and I honestly believe he's easily got the army he needs to deal with this. He only loses 3 drones, that still leaves him in a 12-worker lead. He just needs to crank out units, and of course, with a third hatchery, he should pretty much always be able to crank out more than his opponent here as well. So in that regard, this is looking to be very, very good for Elazer to take this game number 1, and I just don't think Rattata has the money or the production right now to outdo it, and he seems to agree. He doesn't even go for the attack. He's just going to tap out right there.
Unfortunately, not quite working out for our gold Zerg player. He did a great job building chaos. I mentioned, hey, the one Bane doesn't do much, but he timed it out rather nicely with about 6 or 7 lings in the main base, trying to maximize damage for minimal investment, but lings were there, so not quite enough. And Elazer just showing that form that he really started to turn on pretty much since he joined Team Liquid. That insane Valencia group stage where he topped a group with Rainer in it. He's looking good.
Yeah, man. I honestly, Laser's been impressing me lately. I mean, he's the Nation Wars champ as well, right? Like he is world champion, as they've been saying in the in the European scene a little bit. The Polish world champs are pretty happy about that win, and Laser looked really good in Nation Wars too. Like really deadly, really decisive. Really seemed to just every game had such a good plan. Always seemed to know what he wanted to be doing. It was really cool to see, and yeah, it's been fun to see him playing so well because I mean, this is a guy who won a championship way back when. Looked like as though he was going to go on to win many more and just sort of fizzled out a little bit. Never really kind of dropped off fully, right? But he definitely peaked. And he's always been trying to chase that peak again, it feels like. And lately, I almost can't believe that he's on his way back to that point.
Oh, he really is. He's looking. I mean, I know what we know what to chalk it up to. He spent time at the Alienware training facility. That
It
is
could be, man.
that's just how that works.
Yeah, man. I mean, sometimes that boot camp and I mean, it's actually really cool that we have like Liquid just. I mean, the facility is cool in itself, but then they have this kind of boot camping thing. They all go in there, they're traveling, they're hanging out. There's a real kind of like teammate kind of like feeling to it all, right? Because they're all helping each other. I feel like Elazer's the sort of guy that could really benefit from that sort of environment as well, and so far, absolutely seems to have been the case. Yeah, him joining Liquid seems to have been a real kind of boost to him. So, yeah, it is really cool to see for sure. So, like I said, great start. I would love to see Rattata bring it back though as well. For all the love I'm giving to Laser, I do feel like Rattata's been dangerous lately. He's been fun to watch too. It'd be a shame to see Rattata just sort of drop out of this tournament so quickly because in the past he has been kind of a danger in TSLs. So yeah, let's see if he can at least make this 3 games. As we're all going to be lining up for our game number 2 in a couple of moments.
Not only has he been dangerous in TSL's past, Wardy, he was the reason that Rainer didn't qualify through the first qualifier or the second qualifier of TSL. Is we didn't have most players try to qualify through the second European qualifier, where he knocked down Rainer's Protoss 3-0, and then we had that massive comeback from Showtime. So he was even a problem in the qualifiers. We're gonna have to see though whether he can be a problem in the main event, because in the bottom left here, up 1 in the purple from Team Liquid, it's Elazer.
In the top right hand side, looking to bounce back here in this series, tie it all up. It is going to be Rattata.
So Data C has to be home field advantage for the Liquid Elazer, right?
Because he's underwater.
Because we're on Data C.
Yeah. Yeah, follow the puns today. I thought it was on pun break, but apparently Fear Dragon's infested you. Did you catch with Fear Dragon yesterday?
Yes.
I can tell. Yeah, that's what it is.
Hey now. Fear Dragon does not have an institutional monopoly on bad jokes. Thank you very much. I don't need to license my bad jokes from him.
He certainly makes it feel like it. Oh, it's okay, Ravi. We love you, really. Oh, yeah, I'm impressed, man. Just joke after joke. It's non-stop.
It's the
I
problem.
thought, I thought,
Every time I make any sort of bad joke whatsoever, just my Twitter timeline is filled with, "Hi, Ravi." I'm like, I mean, it's
Every
okay.
time. My favorite part is when I was at an event with Ravi, and I was like, he was like, "Yeah, I tweeted." I'm like, "Huh, I can't see your tweet." I was like, "Oh yeah." Awkwardly have had you unfollowed after some of the jokes recently. And he was like, in a true Ravi way, he kind of looked at me kind of sad, but he was like, "I understand. You're not wrong to do that." Oh, I love Fear
Yeah.
Dragon, really.
Isn't it great here that we're sitting here and we can say this? Well, we know Fear Dragon is listening, but he can't respond.
and, and he's already kind of sad because he can't go stop. Can't go get his morning coffee yet, right? Like he's just getting worse. Sorry,
uh,
Ravi.
poor Avi. Well, now we got to say something nice. So, his jokes are not bad.
Yeah, not bad. We'll leave it, leave it at that. You know what? They're adequate. You know,
They
I
are
like it.
perfectly acceptable.
I listen to them sometimes.
They do enter my ear holes.
They enter your ear. He makes them. You know.
Yes. I don't know how much
This
more can be said.
Yeah, this TVZ isn't giving us much to be said either, guys. It is very simply 3 hatch each, and it's maybe going to get interesting now. This is the part where we start to see, are we going to get some, drones being built, or is there going to be some lings? We do see the Bane Nest on either side, so both players are being pretty safe with the Bane Nest coming online. So looking pretty, like I say, regular for now, and yeah, it doesn't look like anyone's setting up. Maybe Elazer's setting up to spam some lings, but I thought he was maybe waiting for an overload, build a bunch at once, but now you get some extra drones going now. So this really is looking as though it's just going to be a pretty kind of straightforward game for the moment. And nobody's really going to be doing anything too crazy. So yeah, nice little bit of a maybe macro game here on Data C, and maybe something we can sit back and enjoy for a little bit, and actually maybe get a bit of ZVZ mid game. Have we been past 10 minutes yet in ZVZ today? I feel like barely, if we have.
I don't think we've been past 10 minutes ZVZ in this tournament. And we've actually had a lot more ZVZs than we normally would. So yeah, please, this game is going to go 20 minutes. We're going to get into Hydra Lurker Viper stage. We're going to get that beautiful level of ZVZ. Calling it right now. That's what I want. And I think we're going to get it. There's no chance that one of these players ends it soon. No way at all.
There's just nothing set up. Elazer does go carapace initially here, so again, maybe looking towards something of those Ling Roach timings we've already seen in some of the previous games as well. So that is absolutely a possibility right now from him. And in fact, I'd say is almost more so the guarantee of what we're going to have from him based on the current situation. So we're moving towards that, and yeah, otherwise this is just kind of sitting back and waiting a little while until we're truly set up. Flex Track is coming in from Rattata, his own +1 missiles. Roach is on the way now, last on. I mean, it's not even like a fast last. It's not even like we really have anything that can come out super aggressively on the side of Rattata here. Like, he can't, like, Nidus or mix it up in that regard. It just kind of has to be standard at the moment.
Yeah, he doesn't even want to necessarily get super aggressive. Maybe having some Banelings roll in or something. We saw he tried that, but with Roaches on the way here from Elazer with Carapace halfway done, he's just going for that +1 Carapace timing. We saw Sue tried to do it. It didn't really work out because it ran into a +1 Speed Roach timing. But Elazer, he finds himself in a little bit better of a situation as he's not, I guess actually +1's going to be done at a decent time, but he will not have speed. As now we're going to see some Banelings look to roll into the third base, but Rattata is well prepared for that one, so he's really not going to get much of anything. And it seems like Rattata, for the most part, has sniffed out that something's happening here. He's not going above 50 workers. He's building more and more and more drones and lings. But as he runs across the map, this is where it gets a little bit dangerous because, of course, he does not have defender's advantage. +1 Carapace is going to be done in just a second. There really is not a lot of reason for Rattata to be on the map right now. Yeah, +1 ranged is done, but no roach speed. So he's going to run lings in, and it looks like the roaches are going to start to head back rather soon. So really just a scouting mission here, and with +1 Carapace finishing up, now it's the Elazer's turn to get active on the map.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good scout, though, right? Like, he's seen a lot of roaches. He's got a reasonable look at the income that Elazer's working with, and you can say, hey, look, I feel like you're attacking me. And he gets to start up these spines. He tries to use the lings on a counter-attack here. They're going to get turned around again, so good defense from Elazer. Rattata's been building nothing but units for a little while. Will he have enough defensively? The spines aren't ready yet, so this actually might still be a tough couple of moments as we do see Elazer again on top of this position pretty much straight away. and looking to take full advantage right from the start.
Oh, yeah, absolutely is. The spine is finishing up now, and the supplies are starting to equalize just a little bit more, but unfortunately, a lot of that supply is in the 10 roaches that are in production. So Elazer still with that superior concave. The spine does go down as Rattata continues to run back into his natural. 10 workers will fall, make it just a little bit more than that. The third base sure to die eventually. Maybe there's a world where Rattata holds but loses his third base and stays behind, but it does not look even like he's going to be able to hold his natural ramp here. There's another spine right there. Biles will not land. And the Elazer, he just micros back a little bit. It reestablishes that concave. And again, a couple roaches there popping out of the third base. Rattata did not. Oh, look at that. Lynx around. Going to find its way in. Going to deny that concave. Denying the choke. Biles, though, will not land. In fact, Elazer kills off some of his own lings with those roaches. That looks like that should allow Rattata to hold on to the high ground now, but the third base is dead, or at least the third base should be dead. That's going to put Elazer in wonderful stead as this game goes on.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe Elazer doesn't need to be as far forward on that natural, but as long as he gets rid of the third eventually, this is going to be fine, right? He's happy just to have kept trading, and it does look as though Elazer is on his way towards a 2-0 here, clean and comfortable. It turns out he was the aggressor, right, and just really was able to bring the fight to Rattata. Rattata getting caught a little bit off guard in these games, wasn't ready to receive the aggression, wasn't ready to defend in time. And yeah, now Elazer's in an absolutely killer position. He's up a ton of army supply, just a handful of drones, but obviously no third on the side of Rattata means that whatever he tries to do from here is just unlikely to work. You know, he doesn't have a good enough economy, he doesn't have good enough production. It just really is not a good way back into this right now.
No, I mean, I respect the idea from Rattata to immediately try to run across the map and say, okay, maybe, you know, maybe you spent a little bit too much doing something here. Maybe I can kill the third in exchange. But Elazer, he was not droning. Yes, he's moved into +1 range behind this, and yes, he started droning now, but he wasn't really droning super hard behind that one. He understood that Rattata was likely going to have to do something, and that therefore means that, okay, you built a lot of roaches, you shut down the counterattack, and then Rattata even further behind than he already was. Whereas if he maybe droned up a little more, reestablished the third faster, maybe that was a way back into it. But for right now, Elazer up massively in army supply. He's going to have 1-1 versus just the +1 attack. He has that third hatch for production. And yeah, the first push didn't kill a Rattata, but it did turn him into a zombie. And now he's going to start rotting.
Yeah, this is it's pretty bad. I just trying to look for like a way back in for Rattata anyway at all. Thing is, he's not really rich enough to try and go into like a Spire. Maybe if he'd done like, you know, try to go for like a Spire immediately, maybe there could have been like some amount of potential there, possibly. I still don't really love the idea. It's just like, well, what else was he really going to do, right? Like, you're kind of stuck in a really tough position no matter what. So maybe that would have been one way, but I don't think it's crazy that he didn't. He just kept making units, hoping that he could make something else happen further down the line. So yeah, just a rough game for sure. And Elazer, obviously, with plenty of units now, should just be able to finish this up. I don't even think he needs to wave a +2, but obviously, if he feels like he needs to be safe, then he absolutely can do that as well. Again, the game's kind of in his hand. I feel like whichever way you choose to play that out is fine, as long as you do, at some point, decide to attack.
So if Rattata, his +2 is going to be done in about 25, 30 seconds. If he can survive long enough, get a good concave, maybe there's a world where he takes a positive trade. But, oh, those biles are actually going to be really nice to start. But unfortunately, there's just not enough stuff here. Not really for Rattata. So the concave, the superior concave from Elazer into the third base. Third base broken once again. And there is nothing for